Hey there, Otaku! Are you ready to see one of the largest, if not the largest, collection of video game consoles that are plugged in and readily playable on the internet today? Stop by in February. I'll be counting down all of my systems right here on Go Mega Otaku Gamer Alpha. You'll get to see them all, you'll get to see your favorites, you'll get to see ones you've never even heard of. Check out my massive collection, coming in February. Hey there, Otaku! Welcome to another episode of Go Mega Otaku Gamer Alpha. Ken-chan here, and today we're looking at the PSP Go. Yeah, we're gonna watch it go, alright. So let's go! Okay, the PSP Go, of course, is made by Sony. It is a miniaturized version of the PSP, a little bit more portable, and it has this slide function here. You can see this. It slides open like so. And then you have, you know, the full button array there. Okay, which we will look at a little closer in a moment. The PSP Go, well, it's part of the PlayStation product family. It is a handheld game console. It is part of the 7th generation of consoles. It was available in North America and Europe October 1st, 2009. In Japan on November 1st, 2009. And it was discontinued in 2011 outside of North America. Apparently it was still available here after that. I don't know if it still is or not. I haven't seen it anywhere. The media that it uses is digital distribution. It is download only. They don't use those UMD things anymore for this. You can't put a game into this. It's a download machine. Which, you know, leaves it questing for an identity. It uses memory stick micros, and it has 16 gigabytes of internal flash memory, 64 megabytes of RAM. The display is 480 by 272 pixels with 16.8 million colors, 16 by 9 widescreen, TFT LCD, 3.8 inch. The controller inputs are 6-axis DualShock 3, which is optional. It uses Wi-Fi, USB 2.0, MediaGo software, Bluetooth, and it connects to the PlayStation 3, which we will take a look at. The online service, of course, is the PlayStation Network, and its predecessor is the PSP 3000. Its successor is the PSP E1000. Yeah. Now, what had happened is Sony was looking for a way to expand their PSP machine, and they thought that they saw that what everyone else was doing, you know, like Apple, for example, and the Android market was, they were coming up with these machines that downloaded their games. They didn't use a physical, tangible, you know, bay for games. This, you know, on the back here, you see there's no spot for those UMDs. Those little discs that Sony made for the PSP that were just ridiculous. All the content on here is downloadable, so let's go ahead and take a closer look at this machine. We'll look at the way that it interacts with the PS3, and then we'll have some final thoughts. Okay, Otaku, right now I have this plugged into the USB port into a computer to charge it. I haven't had it on for a while, so it needs a charging. But this is the PSP Go. It has these speakers right here and here. On top here you have volume control. You have a screen brightness thing. This is like a music setting thing here. We'll take a look and see what that does. You know, left and right bumper switches right here. Okay, down here we have a headphone jack. On the side here, this is where the the memory stick goes here. This is your Wi-Fi button here. Turning this on and off determines, you know, whether you can get the Wi-Fi or not. Over here is a power button. You can put it to sleep or turn it on that way. Okay, but another way that you can open it, okay, is to just slide it open like so. And there it is, coming up. And there we have it. So now we're on, and we have these button array here. We have the directional pad. This is a stick. It's like a joystick. The PSP had one joystick. That's still here. Your select and start buttons here. And your triangle, circle, X, and square buttons here. And as I said, the bumpers are up here and here. So this makes, you know, it's thin, it's light, it's not really all that heavy. Not a phone. Here we have the, you know, the crossbar menu thing that you see on your typical PSP or PS3. You have access to the PlayStation Store there. Your information board. You know, your account management, all that kind of crap. Internet browser, search the internet, RSS channel. Basically everything that you would find on your PSP. And now, as we know about the PSP, and this model is no different, the internet browser on this is really rudimentary. There's no YouTube. You can't, you know, look at anything on here. It's really a really rudimentary browser. It's not really that good. System storage, memory stick, save data, etc., etc., game sharing. So on here, let's take a look at what's on here. On the memory stick here, there's no games on the memory stick. System storage. I have Star Wars Battlefront, Renegade Squadron. Yeah, N2O. Tomb Raider Last Revelation. Capcom Classics, Tekken 2. High Octane, Ridge Racer Type 4, Mod Nation Racers, Arc the Lad 2, Arc the Lad, you know, the first one, Tekken 1, Parasite Eve, Pandemonium. Okay, this is Sonic Wings Special. It's Japanese. As you know, in the Japanese, or on the PlayStation Network, they have Japanese games. And this is one of my personal favorites, Cho-Aniki! Muscle-bound dudes in skimpy little outfits shooting things. It's crazy. It's just nuts. And then, of course, when you close this while it's still on, it goes into this clock thing here. Like a clock. I guess you can set it up to be an alarm clock. So let's go ahead, though, and open this back up. Let's look at some of the games. Let's start with a little Tekken 2. And as I said, this is download only, Otaku. You can't put these games in here. So, of course, I have, you know, a lot of PS1 classics on here. And of course, because this is on my, on my account, it's also on my PS3. This particular model is married to my PS3 Slim. My other PSP is married to the 60 gigabyte PS3, the George Foreman grill version that I have out here. And this looks good. A much smaller screen than the PSP. Not even 4 inches, as I said. Let's go ahead and start some of this. I hold this different from the way other people do this. But these graphics on this little screen look quite good. And that's the almighty Tekken 2 right there, Otaku. I'm also going to mention that since I have this game paused and I'm going to come out of this, I forgot to mention this is the PS button right here. You hit that. And it goes into the familiar quit game thing. And quit the game. Here's a little Star Wars Battlefront Renegade Squadron. And this is a PSP game itself, actually, that you download. It took a long time to download this. Just load one of these profiles here. This one will do fine. Wow, look at that thing. Oh, come here. Gotcha. Wasted. That's Star Wars Battlefront Renegade Squadron. Okay, here's a little Sonic Wings special. This is a PS1 game again. I have to question that seriously how many people really downloaded, like a lot of actual PSP games on this system. This doesn't lend itself. 16 megabytes or 16 gigabytes doesn't really lend itself to like a lot being able to download like a serious collection of games. This is more of a casual game device. And of course this system has this particular iteration of the PSP has not done well. I'm not sure exactly what their thinking was when they put this out. Okay. Oops. This is one of my favorites in here. You know, this one doesn't utilize the stick at all. And it shrinks the screen and does all that. This is a system that you can put right in your pocket. It's about the size of, maybe a little bit bigger than a cell phone, but it's small. It's small enough. You can get somewhere with it. Yikes. There you have it, Sonic Wings. Okay, Otaku, here we go. Now we're going to try to power up the PS3 that's in the other room, the PS3 Slim, using remote play, the remote play setting here. Notice how big the background is right here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to fire this up. And we're going to connect via private network. Can't see that, it's really bright. Okay. Now this should turn the system on. Oop, I heard a beep in the other room. And it should be quick. It should not take the full 90 seconds for this to happen. Come on, you can do it. Sony is slow, if not, you know, at a full stop most of the time. There it is. Okay, now this is, while this looks similar to what you were looking at, everything is smaller here. Because this is actually the screen, the welcome screen, the main splash screen of the PS3 Slim. Of course, you know, the PSP Go does not support Netflix, yet here's Netflix. That's from the PSP, or the PS3 Slim. There's my PlayStation 3 games, which you cannot access and play through this. I don't think you can access, yeah, you can access the Netflix. So there's a whole bunch of things that you can't do with this. Which is just not really all that. Here's something that I had thrown on here. It's just a video of the other room. Quite boring. This feature is really not that great. You go in here, like you say you want to play Beyond Good and Evil on your PS3 via this thing, you can't do it. You want to watch your videos. These videos, there are titles on these things on my PS3, but it won't let you get to them from here. The music that I don't have any stored on my PS3. Pictures, I can get to pictures, you know, well enough, I suppose. There's a picture there. But that's about it. You'd have to put music directly onto your PS3. So, what I'm getting at is this is not such a great feature. At least on this thing. Okay. So let's go ahead now. We're going to go ahead now and we're going to turn this off. And we're going to hit the quit remote play. And we're going to quit and turn off the PS3 system. You have a choice of quit and turn off the PS3 system or quit without turning off the PS3 system. I'm going to quit and turn it off. Turn off the system, yes. And there, it turned off my PS3 and we're back to the PSP Go thing here. So that feature is, you know, at least as far as the way it works with this, it's virtually worthless. I see no purpose in that at all, whatsoever. Okay, Otaku, here we have, back to the PSP Go here. I have some videos on here. I have Batman, Brave and the Bold. And I have music on a stick. And the little music button that we were looking at here, this is actually a, let me close this so you can see it. This music button is actually a mute button. There's that. It's a mute button. Unmute. Mute. You have to really press the hell out of it to get it to mute it, though. You just barely touch it to unmute it. But, there's that. Squirrely little system. Otaku, this PSP Go is really for hardcore collectors only. It's really not worth the effort to really go out of your way to find one of these if you're just looking to play, you know, the games. To do that, you really want to just get a regular PSP, get the regular old UMDs, such as they are, stick them in there and play them. The download feature on this is slow. The interaction with the PS3 is poor. It doesn't always work. Maybe it'll work, you might as well flip a coin. As an MP3 player, it's adequate. As a video player, it's adequate. Not as well stocked as like the iTunes store for things like that. It's one of these systems that really it's hurting for an identity. It really doesn't have an identity. It doesn't have an identity of its own. It's trying to be everything. It's trying to be too many things. And as a result of wearing too many hats at once, it doesn't do any one job that well. Even games. The screen, while the screen looks okay and the graphics are pretty good for its size, it's still a very small size, and you have to download the games for it. You can't just put a game in it. As a dedicated handheld, it's really, you know, game player, it's really not that good. Simply because I don't think the PlayStation Network was meant to be, you know, at that point, or even at this point right now today, still it's not quite there to be, you know, a download-only network service like iTunes or something like that, or, you know, and the Android market. So I'm gonna try to steer any just casual type collector away from this kind of device. It's really not worth your time or effort, and even used, it's just too expensive. Personally, I paid more. I paid what did I pay for this? About it was over $100 I paid for this thing. Really, the thing isn't really, in my opinion, worth it. I think it's worth about $50 or even less. But good luck finding it for that much. It's smaller than the PSP. It doesn't take any UMDs. The control is adequate. The music player, the video players are adequate, but at the end of the day, it's really not worth your time. It's the PSP Go from Sony.